Report.
Eid al-Maulud is a celebration shared by Muslims community in many countries around the world. It is a spiritual celebration meant to gather faithful at the mosque to read some passages of the Quran about the life of Prophet Muhammad as a way to remember his exploits and achievements.
Muhammad Sallallahu, we all know he was born in the month of Rabiul Awwal, then the 12th day of Rabiul Awwal, which is the Islamic calendar.
And we seek for his blessing on our noble Prophet Muhammad. It's all about the birth of the noble Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
The Prophet of Islam, the best of mankind, who was sent by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to the whole universe to spread the message of Islam, the religion of peace.
Muslims were advised to emulate the life of the Holy Prophet Muhammad.
Quran have said, that the best exemplary for you is that of in the character of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And God has described him as the most being in morality.
Allah said, from the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, there is best attitude for you to look upon to.
So I would just advise every Muslim in the world, we should follow the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad, all his teachings, all his good vibes, which we all know Allah created him to be doing. So by doing that, I believe we will see the favor of Allah.
Nigerians are equally enjoined to spread the spirit of love, realizing peace in the country. Ayodeji Olumi, Ogtv News.
The current administration is leaving no stone unturned. Its Ishaya mantra as infrastructure development, which is the first letter of the acronym, continues to receive prompt attention. The Ashafaoki and Ashafaisale, Ayegun Ojofa in Ijebode area not left out, as the linking road to the 4 locations in Ijebode has been constructed. Margaret Okulola reports. That story in
community. It is of great necessity for the progress of such society. This is Ashafauke, Ashafaisale, Ayegun Ojofa Road, located in Ijebu, constructed by the current administration in Ogun State. As a people-oriented government whose welfare of its residents is topmost in its cardinal programs, the Prince Dapo Abiodun-led administration has again constructed this road linking the 4 areas, namely Ashafauke, Ashafaisale, Ayegun, Ojofa. The road redefined being the focal point of urban renewal and rural infrastructure development program of the current administration.
This is Ayegun Isale, because we have 2 Ayegun, the upper one and down one. We thank them because there's some governors that have passed, which didn't even know about this. Even despite at the back of the local government, we really thank them. Because I was born, I'm going to 60 now. Because before they bomb me, the road is bad already. But we don't even believe that they can do it.
The road was in a very bad state before the construction started. But we thank God that the road was well constructed. We like the way it was constructed. Because before that time, drainage has been the problem of this place. And since the construction of the road, there is nothing like that again.
This area is called Ojofa, and the road have been in a deplorable state over the years, as we used to experience flood during rainy season before the intervention of the current administration in Ogun State.
In the same vein, the construction of the road, according to residents, has improved social and economic development in the area tremendously.
We are in Ayegun Ijebode. The difference is clear. Before, here is because of the road, but now When there is gold, is okay now, so the sales is okay.
I'm a trader in this area with small-scale business. The area is good. It's good enough. Since they constructed this road, sales has improved.
Still ahead, cholera kills 23 people. More news after the break. Join us again. Welcome back. The crisis of cooking gas, also liquefied petroleum gas in Nigeria, is set to take a worsening turn in the days ahead, despite the latest statistics that Nigeria, as a continent, accounted for a part of global liquefied natural gas LPG consumption in 2020. The recent increase in the sale of the country is giving Nigerians sleepless nights as its price keeps increasing every day without an end in sight. Bumi Adigun in this report takes a market survey of how much the product is being sold and the hardship this is causing Nigerians. His report.
Nigerians resorting to the use of firewood as the cost of cooking gas is fast rising beyond their reach. Households and restaurants that once said goodbye to firewoods and charcoal are now embracing them again. The implication is that more trees might pave way in the coming months and years if the situation is not addressed. The condition is getting worse every day as this hike looks unending, and according to reports, prices of cooking gas may rise further as supply has fallen by 20.5%. The hardship is becoming unbearable as most gas depots now have few customers patronizing.
It's like 1 kg is 600 per kg now. So I came here to fill 5 kg. That 5 kg is 3,000 naira now. For 1 kg is just 300, 350 per kg. But now, it's like the cost is going higher.
Normal, we are filling this in, isn't 20,000, 21,000 for 50 kg before. But for now, we are filling it 28,000 naira as a dealer price.
The new prices of the product are leaving them gnashing their teeth. A kilogram of this substance at the depot is now sold between 600 and 700 naira. While immediately it gets to the retailer, it goes for between 800 and 850 naira. It becomes higher in remote areas.
It's just so sad for Nigerians at this particular moment that we are. It seems like most of the things that Nigerians have in abundance, Nigeria has in abundance, is what we suffer to get. Despite the millions and trillions of natural gas deposits we have in Nigeria, it's so unfortunate that we are buying a kilogram of cooking gas for within 600 to 700 and even above, depending on the location. For small business owners like me, it's something that it's so bad for our business. Imagine the ripple effect of the increase in gas, the continuous increase in cooking gas. It's the increase in our own prices of our goods.
Comrade Olanrewaju Akinyele is the chairman Liquefied Petroleum Gas, which is a branch of NUPENG, Ogun State chapter.
Like 65% of what we use in the country is being imported. And naturally, oil and gas industry is being done with foreign exchange. And when you now look at that, vis-a-vis the current exchange rate of naira to dollar and other hard currencies, you will know the reason. It's obvious. The exchange rate of naira to dollar now is so high, and the importers we have to buy at with foreign exchange. 2 metric tons of LPG in the past used to be for 4.8 million, between 4 million to 5 million. Currently, it's over 10 million naira.
Comrade Akinyele also noted that the prices will still go up as the demand for the product as the festive period draws near will become higher, as there seems to be no way out of the crisis.
By the postulation and by the experts, even NMP, LNG, and even the marketers, NAGAM, being projected that it will still go as high, it will still go higher than this, because in the festive period, and normally, traditionally, when the festive period is approaching like this, or during the festive period, the prices of LPG usually go high.
How long this suffering will last, only time will tell. Ogtv News.
We are now joined by Comrade Olanrewaju Akinyele, Chairman, Liquefied Retailers Ogun State Chapter, who is here tonight to shed more light on the issues involved in the rising cost of cooking gas in Nigeria. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Tell us the genesis of price increase, the price crisis that we now have in the country.
Thank you. I can say that the major is because perhaps in the past 10 years, in advocating that people should shift the other means of cooking to the use of LPG. And accordingly, majority of Nigerians have embraced it en masse. So the consumption of LPG, the cooking gas in Nigeria now, has increased. But unfortunately, when government was promoting LPG, the use of LPG for cooking, government, I think, take their time to actually make sure that the product is available in sufficient quantity to meet the need of the people. So now, very huge domestic consumption, but inadequate quantity in supply. From the normal knowledge of economics, when there is a of the product, then the price will naturally go up. That is a part of it. I would rather say the price hike is a mix of factors. Yes, because even globally, there is even hike in the price of cooking gas. Since there is scarcity in Nigeria here, some people also source gas from abroad. They import gas from abroad. So they have to do it with foreign exchange. And you know that the foreign exchange now, naira to dollar, is very wide.
Okay.
Okay.
Investigations reveal that there appears to be complicity between the federal government, the importers and depot owners to consistently monopolize this sector. Imagine, what is your take on this?
Like you said, I think that is speculative, because what we are actually witnessing now is not so palatable to everybody, even the marketers, to import gas. But the fundamental cause now is that the product is not adequately available to meet the domestic needs.
So,
and that is a headache for the market, for government.
So, how will you now describe production and supply in Nigeria?
Production, like you said during your during the preamble, Nigeria has about we have the ninth leading LPG. We have the ninth quantity in the world. Fortunately, it is only Nigerian liquefied natural gas company that is producing LPG for domestic use. Unfortunately, again, they have also said that they don't have the capacity or facility to produce adequately for the use to meet the need of Nigerians. Currently, the annual consumption in Nigeria now is 1.2 million metric tons. But they said they can only produce 450,000 metric tons. That is just about 45% of what we need in Nigeria. So they are the only one producing it, and the only one producing it said they don't have enough quantity to give out. Again, they have also said that even the 450,000 metric tons they have, that the marketers don't have the capacity, the facility to lift all of them. So, mix of factors. They cannot produce enough. They also said the marketers cannot lift the little they are producing. So, majorly, as told you the other time, it is only 45% that is being produced in Nigeria. About 50 or 60% that is remaining is being imported. So that is the way it is. We produce little, we import most of the other ones that we need.
So how much does it cost to buy gas now?
Well, when we look at it per kg, it is between 700 naira to 800.
So if I want to buy 12.5 kg?
12.5 is between 7,500 to... It could be higher in some places, depending on the distance from the...
Okay, so now, about Ogun State. How has the crisis affected?
Well, it has affected us really, because the first thing is that people are finding it hard to buy. It's not so favorable, people don't have money, and the price is so high. And it's an essential commodity, they have to buy it whether they like it or not. So people to buy. What we notice now, people now buy little quantity. Instead of, you see somebody bringing 12.5 kg cylinder, it will only buy 1 kg inside it. That is one. Another way it's affecting us is people have started shifting to other alternatives that government have been discouraging before now. Like people to charcoal. Before now, we are charcoal trade friends. When you pass, they will not greet you. But because they are now getting some of your customers, they will greet you when you pass now.
Really?
So people have now been buying charcoal. Some people have been trying to get firewood, and we alternatives are not so good. They are not even recommended. They are not good, and they are not good for the environment. And second, the business people, it is not even a good time for us, because the money we need to buy gas now is so much, and what we sell in our different shops is so little now. So it's not a good time.
So can you suggest the way out of the crisis?
This government, because initially when government was promoting the use of LPG, planned ahead to make the product available. But now that that one has not been done, it is now the responsibility of government to give Nigeria gas limited, maybe presidential order, adequately available. If they cannot do it, government should cushion the effects. Need bringing in LPG and mass to support the importers. But by my own, I would also recommend that if NLNG will be the only one for us, there will always be shortage. It will always be inadequate. Make sure that maybe even private investors go into this area and start producing LPG for domestic use. And lastly, Nigerian liquefied natural gas domestic supply first. Mandate, they said they are primarily established for export. But government should just tell them they should focus on giving gas to Nigerians out of the country.
Okay. Well, viewers at home, that you have heard it all from Comrade Akin, petroleum gas retailers. Many thanks for coming, sir, and we do hope that you will oblige us when next we call on you.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Muhammadu Buhari has sent a stern warning to bandits, saying that the clock of their ultimate thickening, as they will no longer have a place to hide. In a statement in Abuja, Shehu, the president's spokesman, said President Buhari was reacting to the killing of over 30 people in Goroyo in Sokoto State on Sunday by bandits. According to the president, the days of the bandits because the military capabilities of armed forces are being boosted by the acquisition and deployment of advanced equipment. The bandits are living in fool's paradise of, but reality will soon dawn on. The bandits are currently under desperate pressures because of the intense and sustained air and ground operations against them in their hideouts. The cowardly attacks on innocent people by the bandits show a rearguard action of criminals under pressure. Emphasized that the bandits will have no place to hide and the gallant security forces will not relent in the current offensive to defeat these callous enemies of humanity. He appealed to all Nigerians not to despair because this administration is determined more than ever before to protect Nigerians from murderous criminal gangs that have for the sanctity of human. The federal government has taken delivery of the 12 A-29 Super Tucano fighter jets expected in the United States. The Minister and Culture, Lai Mohammed, who confirmed this and disclosed that used for operations, noting that to the recent successes recorded by the military, the minister said all Kano fighter jets have been received. The minister commented on the Wall Street Journal report, which alleged that the Nigerian Air Force paid bandits 20 million naira in exchange for an anti-aircraft gun. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo says Nigeria is glad that the Biden administration is fully back on board with climate change global agenda in a restoration of United States government support for the Paris. Vice President stated this when he received a U.S. government delegation led by White House Deputy National Security Advisor Jonathan Finer in Nigeria, reiterating Nigeria's position regarding her just transition from fossil fuels to clean energy ahead of the net zero 50 target. The Vice President said government is concerned about some of, especially around gas, transition fuel, the development finance constitutions, and some countries are insisting that gas projects should be defunded. Democracy Summit President Biden will be hosting later in the year. The Vice President of Nigeria looks forward at the summit. The Vice President also spoke to ensure that flows are discouraged, while adding that the international monetary and financial systems have a role on security concerns in relation to and ISIS. The Vice President recognized the role of the global coalition to defend as a very positive. Also, the Vice President expressed the gratitude of the federal government to the United States getting over 3.5 19 vaccines. Nigeria. Head of delegation informed for potential Nigeria on a infrastructure program, Build Back Better World. The state's president has made a priority. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has said has received help from friendly nations and the COVAX alliance. Less than 4% of its eligible population would have been vaccinated by the end of the year. He also said it could have its own vaccine production facility. President Osinbajo said this in Abuja at the International Conference on Health Access Beyond COVID-19. Although the country received some help from friendly nations and the COVAX alliance, less than 4% of our eligible population will have been vaccinated by the end of the year. The Vice President of the private sector-led initiative to make the country self-sufficient in basic drugs production and in being a no had a human capital to build the system. He is in talks with the World Bank's private lending arm and other lenders to raise about $30 million to help finance a vaccine plant chaired by Professor Oyewale Tomori. 49% of the company is owned, with the balance held by May and Baker Nigeria PLC, adding that there are in the first quarter of next year. He also revealed that President Muhammadu Buhari, through the Central Bank of Nigeria, disbursed 233 billion naira in grants to support a number of research and sector. While highlighting in healthcare, the Vice President maintained that its own bill that would ensure health access and take advantage of the opportunity to become a leading nation in Speaker of the Economic African States ECOWAS Parliament, Dr. Sidi Tunis, has encouraged the citizens to be vaccinated against conspiracy theories, stating that the COVID-19 Tunis made by Ghana at the extraordinary session of the legislature to consider and adopt its draft budget for 2022. He said, following elections across the sub-region, according to him, the third wave of the pandemic seems to be across the region, but cases are still high. The opportunity of the moment to appreciate various partners under the COVAX initiative and friendly governments that have donated doses to African countries. He however the percentage of Africans vaccinated, which is a little over 2.47%, according to the African Center for Disease Control, is appallingly low. Continue that much as the unavailability of the vaccine is an issue to consider, the Parliament frowned on the conspiracy theories that have created fear about the vaccines among our population. It has recorded 500 cholera cases with 23 deaths since outbreak of the disease in the state in September. The Director of Public Health in the State Ministry of Health, Dr. Celine Lowry, confirmed the development. Lowry said that the local government by cholera included Yola North, Guerriere, and Maradi. Since the outbreak of the disease in the state in September till date, the state recorded about 523 deaths. discharged. Exactly today, on October 19, 1986, the pioneer editor and one of the founders of NAIRA was blown off by a parcel bomb in his house at number 25B, Ajimobi Street, Ikeja, Lagos. 35 years after his being remanded as one investigation Nigeria ever produced. Adigun reports that while the facts about the perpetrators remain in the realm of imagination, the single incident has redefined investigative journalism 35 years. This report.
Investigative journalism is the unveiling of matters that are concealed separately by someone in a position of power or accidentally, behind a chaotic mass of facts and circumstances, and the analysis and exposure to the public. For instance, the scandal of 1974, the Panama Papers of 2016, in transnational investigative reports, which chronicle a series of slick, sharp, and corrupt offshore investment activities of former government officials, thereby indicating that they are under watch. But for their work, investigative reporters have come under threat from motive with the stopping information that is in the public interest from coming to light. Was what Sumonu Oladele was known for. He likes to get to the roots of all shady events, and this did not go well with the powers that be. This goes to explain why life was snuffed out from this astute journalist who died 35 years ago at Ikeja, Lagos, after a parcel bomb exploded on his lap. Yet, the government at the time remained indifferent.
If our criminal justice is not to be desecrated, then justice must be done to the person accused of the heinous crime, the victim, the murdered man, and society. I am the one seeking justice on behalf of the victim, representing myself and the family. The society is interested in bringing these three gentlemen to testify. They themselves owe a duty to themselves to see that justice is done as accused.
Although both local and international media organizations made efforts to follow up on his death, the family and colleagues are yet to get justice for the mother of the co-founder of Newswatch. Delegiwa reports have it that he was killed by a parcel bomb in his home while in his study room with one Kayode Soyinka on Sunday, October 19th, 1986.
The issue of Delegiwa, if that had been addressed and some people have been punished, perhaps what is happening today will have been reduced considerably. So that's why we're insisting that the federal government has to reopen the whole investigation all over again.
The rest is now history, but the deed done that day is still very much fresh in the minds of the people. May his soul continue to rest. Bumi Adigun, Ogtv News.
The business news segment comes up with Simiat Abaru.
You're welcome to the business news. The Japanese ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Matsunaga Kazuyoshi, has stated that the total trade volume between Nigeria and Japan is $1 billion annually. He added that Japan is also committed to the safety and stability of the Gulf of Guinea to improve maritime trade in Nigeria and West Africa. The ambassador disclosed this at the inauguration ceremony of a two-week anti-piracy first course organized by the Martin Luther Agwai International Leadership and Peacekeeping Center in Jaji, Kaduna. The anti-piracy course is a collaboration between the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, and the Japanese government. Nigeria 45 million metric estimated at about 18 billion naira annually, but is not an active player in cassava trade in the international market, the federal government has said. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Niyi Adebayo, disclosed this while hosting the organizing committee of PAC Africa Expo and Conference led by the Chief Executive Officer, BKB Exhibitions, Iwachiko Agu. Adebayo said cassava and oil palm were strategic commodities in Nigeria's quest for growth and development of the non-oil sector of the economy and required the right attention from both public and private sectors. Afrexim Bank's total loan approvals to Nigeria has now reached 5.5 billion naira, accounting for 26.8% of its African portfolio. This was disclosed by Dr. George Elombi, Afrexim Bank's Executive Vice President of Corporate Governance, at the Intra-African Trade Fair 2021 official Nigeria high-level roadshow in Lagos. Dr. Elombi stated that the African trade and investment under the African Continental Free Trade Area has likely taken on an even more important role as the framework for African economic recovery in the context of COVID-19. The President at Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, Dr. Bayo Olubemi, has stated that in order to strengthen its currency, Nigeria must produce locally and export the product to gain foreign exchange. This was disclosed to newsmen in Ibadan. The CIBN president said that Nigeria relied too much on imported commodities and had very little to export, which is a core reason for the Naira's constant depreciation. The word today, okay, thank you so much. That's so much we can share with you on business segment of the news. Back to Yabo for more segment.
The world today. Chuku. The European Union's top official has been slammed by Poland's constitutional court, saying it challenges the supremacy of the bloc's laws left on. The European Commission President Ursula said the ruling by Poland's earlier this month was a direct challenge to the unity of the European legal order. At least 35 people and landslides in the south of Kerala. Precious Chiku, World Today.
European days is a threat to the bloc.